It's happy hour. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is, no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limo or out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you, because that's New Orleans. And this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common, other than that we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we're at Wayfair on Ferret Street. Wayfair is a restaurant and bar serving handcrafted food and spirits where they put fine dining into a sandwich and fine booze into a glass. 3-hour happy hour every day from 4 to 7 p.m. Wayfair on Ferret Street. And this is your boyfriend, your host for the evening, filling in for Grant Morris. We have some wonderful guests here. It's just a night of guests. Starting with Gant Laborde, a New Orleans technosexual and avid Jameson whiskey disposalist. When Gant's not creating iPhone and Android apps, he's planning the annual black tie and boxers lingerie toga ball, bltball.com. Hell, that sounds just like the party I threw on Friday.
Yeah, actually, I'm a little upset. My invitation must have been lost in the mail.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
You can't trust the Postal Service.
Not anymore. No, you can't. Just go ahead and find my MySpace page and send it on over.
I'll send a courier next time in a corset, so you can't miss them.
I won't.
When does the BLT ball happen?
So we usually do it every Friday before Mardi Gras to sort of kick off the season. And it was something that I used to attend every year. I didn't start throwing it. It actually started in the 80s.
Oh, and then there was a bloodless coup, and now you are in charge.
There can only be one. No, I didn't do that. They fell apart after Hurricane Katrina. So my brother and I said, look, we missed this. We need this back in our lives. You know what? Don't complain. Just go ahead and create. So we brought it back. And then now here it's been around for 4 years, so it'll be 5 years soon.
Don't complain, just create.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, Angie Zederman, I think she creates a few things, including housewifing and torturing a kitten with affection. That does sound creative. Also, she has the body of a sinner and the voice of an angel, a stripping seraph. Angie Z.
That's
it's
so
a sassy
embarrassing.
little singing sensation.
Oh God, don't read any of that.
I wanted to read it. It was really. I'm sweating.
That's like the corporate bio that you send out when they're like, "Send us your bio."
Yeah, but I just scrolling through, I see the word cheese. I see only child brat. I see Jewish. I see Christian. I see burlesque, body, darkness, a touch of darkness. I mean, you're quite the character. Tell us a little about yourself. Like, out of the words I've just thrown at you, which ones stick like glue?
Well, I've been living this kind of half French Quarter housewife, half showgirl life for this whole year in New Orleans. I moved here in December, but yeah, I really like this city, and I've always wanted to live here. And I had this whole series of events happen that were like, you gotta go. So I'm here, and we live on Lower Decatur. So there's all kinds of challenges that come with kind of having a household, which is just me, my boyfriend, and my cat. But it's like there's a lot there.
And the cockroaches. It's a household.
Well, I only see dead ones now that we got the kitten.
Oh, well done.
But and like half dead ones. I mean, half of the roach, not all dead. But yeah, there's all sorts of challenges that come with living where I've been wanting to live since I set eyes on it. But I moved here, and I'm a full-time performer, which is really awesome that you're able to do that. I'm in a city that loves burlesque.
True. And
there's different shows happening all the time. I also do the burlesque and drag listings on NOLA Defender.
Ooh.
So I've kind of not been doing them recently because I've been really busy, but
managing all of the cats.
But yeah, but there's multiple shows every night. There's so much to do. There's so many different kinds of shows, and I'm also a jazz singer too. So I do. That's like my thing is I do like singing burlesque. So that's what makes me.
I do rapping burlesque.
Oh, sweet.
Rap cabaret.
That sounds
Really?
fun.
Literally, we're all.
You making this up?
No, I'm not. We all
hang out in our underwear.
They must have planned this.
What's the go-to rap song?
For me?
Yes.
All of them, obviously.
Oh,
You must have excellent breath
I can't
control.
triage between my own brilliance. Although I will tell you this, Z. Can I call you Z for short?
That's fine.
When I first moved here, I too moved to Lower Decatur.
Oh yeah, where?
So the commonalities are just stacking up. Governor Nichols.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and Decatur, right
yeah.
across from the Brangelina place when it was still Brangelina.
Me too.
Oh, whoa, are we in the same building?
I don't know.
Well, when
did
I
you
lived
move
there, they
here?
called it the stripper apartment. 'Cause
Well, it
we
is
had
now.
Yeah, we had a constant string of strippers coming in and out, and that was where I actually woke up to a cockroach crawling into my mouth.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
First
were
week
you-
moving here.
Okay, I'm on the very top floor.
Oh, I was the first floor of the balcony.
Oh, okay. Well, because you walk up like this little narrow stairs, and then there's like the windowless box right there. Were you in there?
No, I was not windowless. We had the actual balcony. It was pretty swanky. You know the famous photo of Drew Brees and Matthew McConaughey
Yeah. Oh,
throwing?
you're in that one.
That was on that balcony.
Oh no, I'm right above Angeline.
Oh,
facing
okay.
Mojo.
Okay, so you're a little further down.
I love it.
It's a good place to be. Just be careful. Like try to not go to Molly's every single night.
Sleep with your mouth closed.
Well,
Yeah, and sleep with your mouth closed.
My boyfriend's been there for 8 years, and now it's me too. So he's had good luck. Well, we had wasps once,
Ooh,
and he
dear.
was like, "Oh, they're there every year. Don't worry about them. They eat the cockroaches." I'm like,
Well,
I can't have wasps in my house.
I would shoot. Yeah, any bug that is on my side is like spiders are on my team. I guess now wasps are on my team.
Yeah, I mean they didn't bother me. So.
You know, squad up. Well, I hope that your experience so far has lived up to your very high standards and
yeah.
expectations.
I'm madly in love still. Honeymoon.
Speaking of expectations, if we don't have anything common, we're gonna have to kick you off the podcast. Jamie Lynn Vessels, our musical guest, is originally from Raleigh, North Carolina, and exploded onto the music scene in late 2012. Tell us about it. How's it treating you, this music scene?
I love it, and I sing, so there's something in common. I don't
Boom.
wear lingerie and pajamas.
Not yet.
On stage.
On stage, no.
Behind
Not
closed
yet.
doors.
But yeah, I got my master's degree in criminal justice.
Ooh.
Up in I don't know if that's in the bio, but
It's not. I'm just scrolling through. I don't see anything about criminal justice.
Batman at night.
Can we add in the Law and Order dun dun after I say that when we go back in? Okay, thank you.
so that happened in 2010, and then the economy sucked,
Yeah.
especially for law enforcement and that sort of thing. So I mean, I kind of wanted to do like federal or state investigations and that sort of thing, but now I'm in New Orleans playing music, so that's how things go.
Yay.
So since, all of us have found our way down here,
Yeah.
sort of like the drain, like the bathtub drain of America, where
Like
we
a roach to a mouth.
where we all just collect like clumps of hair here at the mouth of the Mississippi and start doing our art.
Well,
So-
I have an idea. So next time we just need an event where she's playing music, you're rapping to it, and she's dancing.
Yeah, and you're there in your lingerie.
And I'm in my lingerie.
Yes.
It'll be at the event. We'll just have everybody. We'll have everybody watch it.
I think it's a good plan.
It's a good plan.
It's a-
I don't
it's
know
a-
what you're doing for Mardi Gras, but that's happening.
But now you have to come up with an edible title. BLT ball. What can you do here for us?
An edible title. So we're starting the theme each year. So next year is going to be nice pear.
That's could be edible,
Yeah, that's
depending on
absolutely
your
edible.
level of cannibalism. You could dally.
Yeah, it's a mix. I think that a lot of people are going to play with it a bit. Although a BLT sandwich is also edible.
Exactly.
So
that was
I'm-
kind of what I was
it's
going.
winning all the way around.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I want to hear more about Jamie Vessel's journey, because I can't imagine that the journey from criminal justice to musician was an entirely smooth one. So it would sound like it was paved by like financial nudges, perhaps.
That was kind of the first step, I suppose. I worked in a cafe and a gym when I first got out of, when I got out of my master's. When I got my master's.
Get out of the clinker known as the criminal justice system.
Yeah, and that was up in, I went to New Hampshire for my undergrad, and then I was in Massachusetts for my graduate degree, and then I'm from North Carolina, so I went back down there and tried to find a job and got the awesome, job in a cafe.
Do you ever write about things that you encountered when you were studying? Like, are there certain injustices that just surface in your music?
Well,
Are there criminals that surface?
actually, that's funny. Yes, and I never really thought about it like that. But There's one song on my CD. Well, there are two songs actually. There's one about a thief. It's called John Brown, thief who gets served some old school justice.
Ooh.
And it's kind of the story about him as a thief in his life. And I don't know what really made me write that song, but
Is he a real person?
he came to be a real person.
Uh-oh, manifest destiny over here. Can you write about how Boyfriend becomes like bigger than Lady Gaga and Madonna combined?
I can do that.
Okay,
I can
great.
do that.
Get on it.
And then there's a song, Arlene, on my CD that is kind of about spousal abuse, domestic abuse, I guess. But I kind of write my songs where it can be interpreted any number of ways. So, not to be Debbie Downer or anything.
No, not at all. You've piqued my interest.
Okay.
My interest is piqued.
All right.
Is it too soon to have you play since we're talking about it? What's
No,
the
I
rules here? Am I breaking the... Yeah, I'm getting
We're
a
good?
thumbs up from
We're
the
good?
powers that be. Let's
All right.
do it. Whip it out.
Well,
I think some of these are phrases that you've heard at your parties.
Yeah, actually, whip it out is.
My interest is piqued.
It's
Whip it out.
Pretty much. These are dangerous things that happen. You usually wait till the midnight toast, and then after that.
Yeah, and I'll
little
sleep with your mouth open. It's the opposite of
That's true.
what you'd think.
Yeah, it is opposite.
Because you want to... Oh, life is full of surprises. Who wants to be stagnant
It's true. It's true.
down here in the drain? It's New Orleans is brought to us today by Petite Pet Care. If you're going out of town or have a crazy schedule, the folks at Petite Pet Care will take care of your pet in his or her own home. For loving care when you're not there, go to petitepetcare.com. Meow. By Basics Swim and Gym, a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes with style. Basics Swim and Gym is on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue. And by Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. Go to the Hangover Destroyer website, hddestroyer.com, write happy hour in the coupon code and get 30% off. That's 30% off Hangover Destroyer and seize the dawn. And by unlistednola.com, the revolutionary new way to buy a house in New Orleans. So y'all can't see, but Angie Z is wearing very gray glasses.
Oh, thanks.
Very retro.
I need them to see.
I need them to see as well. It's
Yes.
not a bit.
Yeah, I
not a bit.
felt like I maybe should have dressed up more.
No,
but
the face is enough. You have almost
yeah.
a victory curl going on.
I did it real quick in the car while I shoved food in my face. I had a meeting that ran late, and I was like, oh, I'm a burlesque dancer, I'm glamorous.
You know, it's hard to be a woman.
Another reason to love New Orleans.
A lot of maintenance. All right.
Basically, wear whatever you want.
Indeed.
Well, maybe I should play one of those songs I was talking about. Let's do John Brown. Good? Today I met a man who's 22 feet tall. Asked him what he wanted. He said, I want it all. Asked him his name. John Brown, he replied. I took him by the hand, showed me how he died. He spent his days wandering with someone else's wealth. Criminals would join him, toasting to his health. Child in every city, mothers full of grief. The time was catching it up to this thief. Hey now, John Brown, you've done lost your ground. Won't you give up and give in to the man within. John Brown was soon surrounded by the men who knew his lies. They took back every penny. They cut him down to size. They took him to the river to wash away the sin. Then they let him go. He was deep enough in. Hey now, John Brown, you done lost your crown. Won't you give up and give in to the man within? He wants to know what's more precious than gold. Today I met a man. Now he's 22 feet deep. Now he knows what you sow, you reap. Hey now, John Brown, you've done lost your crown. Won't you give up and give in to the man within?
Yeah.
Haunting.
It's kind of got a reggae-ish kind of feel on the CD, which is
Yeah.
kind of hard to capture on, just acoustic guitar. But
Oh, you should tell me. I would have rolled a blunt during it. That was beautiful. I really like this concept of the man within.
yeah, that's a lot of my songs are kind of spiritual in a way because I don't know, that's a big part of my life. But it's also the redemptive aspect of things. I guess that's where the criminal justice kind of comes in a way.
Absolutely.
So,
I hear it. There's undertones. There's an undercurrent.
yeah. So that's kind of all the songs are a little different on my CD, but which I kind of like.
What is the name of your
It's
CD?
called Home. It's the title track.
Cool.
So yeah,
Where can we find it?
Basically anywhere. Louisiana Music Factory, iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, my website, all kinds of places.
Never miss the opportunity for a well-timed plug.
Of course. Appreciate that.
Although I did enjoy the song, but you're still wearing all your clothes and the song is over.
Darn it.
That's
Yeah.
You gotta get rid of that guitar.
yeah. Lose the guitar.
Right. Yeah, we'd all be a little bit more impressed if you were able to keep the song going
Right.
while doing the whole
Yes,
rest.
while also undoing
I
your
guess,
bra.
yeah.
It's hard. Angie Z and I can vouch for that.
It's true.
It takes a lot of fine motor skills. Oh, speaking of fine motor skills, we had a crash in the kitchen back there. So, Angie, do you have any things that you, like any signature moves that you incorporate while you're singing? Like if you hit a high C, do like the pasties come out? Like,
The songs that
pop
I
any
do, they're
buttons?
not super like.
Gant's loving this.
That's hilarious.
the man within is
Like,
loving it.
yeah, there's combo moves going with this. Actually, I'm interested.
Well, they're not vocally like showy songs. The songs that I do, I like that are more kind of nuanced and acty, and I try to find the dirtier show tunes and standards, and I kind
Yeah.
of sing them like a kind of dirty little girl voice.
Can you give us an example? You don't have to croon on the spot, but I just want to know
yeah,
what a dirty
no.
show tune is. I grew up on show tunes, so I'm very.
I do Special from Avenue Q. You know that song?
Yes.
I do right now. I've been doing Love for Sale. That's like my favorite song that I do, and I just sing it. I put like a youth into my voice, just kind of like baby doll, but like I've seen some things kind of thing. So it's like I shouldn't like. I kind of want to help her, but I'm gonna watch her take her clothes off anyway. Like I just I like there to be like a full rounded story, and I like people that have expressions on their face like that. Like, oh no, I'm sorry.
Confuse the man.
Yeah, and La Vie en Rose, that's one of my favorite. That one's more like showboaty. That's the only one I do that has, like guts up there. And
Do you make that one dirty?
I mean, I get naked, so.
Yeah.
What?
Totally nude?
No, not usually. I do like the tiniest of panties and pasties. For certain things, I will. And that's the one I like to do because it's more like a picture, I feel like, than I stand and it's very Art Nouveau and it's just arms and costume.
I'm intrigued.
What were you going to say? You're going to say something?
Oh, in my brief stint on Bourbon Street stripping, there were signs posted in the locker rooms that said it's illegal in the state of Louisiana to show pubic hair. Can any of y'all vouch for that? Criminal justice? Over here?
I can
know
tell you
that.
every time I start showing someone my pubic hair, they start calling the police immediately. So probably true.
There you have it, folks.
I
Don't
would,
do it.
I would go with him on that.
Well, the
Voice of
underwriting.
experience.
I know in some Eastern countries, I know it's like that. Like they show porn on TV, or like pornographic material, but as long as there's no pubic hair and there's like a
pixelated.
little
Right,
bit
that's
of blur
the-
right there,
Right.
then it's fine.
That's the loophole. Well, the caveat to that is the underwriting on the signs and all the locker rooms just said, "We suggest you have none," in italics. It is illegal in the state of Louisiana to show pubic hair on stage. We suggest you have none.
Oh,
But of course,
nice.
I never really saw any bottoms off up in the club.
No, they have to wear G-strings in the club.
Yeah, which I prefer that.
Yeah, I've been to quite a few burlesque shows, and this city is fantastic for it. I had no idea that it was such a big thing, and I got invited to one, and then you see this grandiose kind of like just presentation of just this. It's the unveiling, it's the teasing, it's the playing, it's the fun kind of thing, and it's got this sort of performance where I actually most of the women I know are like, we're going to this burlesque show. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll go to this one. They're like, we found another one. We're going to this one. So actually, you'll have to tell me about which
They're
one
all so
yours
different. I do a bunch of different ones in town. I do one that's I'm one of the only girls in it, and it's a magician, Dante the Magician, Donnie V, who's a sideshow dude, and Russell Bruner, who is like soft shoe man burlesque. It's kind of comedy. And then there's me. I sing and I dance. And then I work with Bella Blue a lot. I do her shows, and she kind of lets me do whatever I want. And then we have a show at a strip club, at Deja Vu Showgirls, that's called Voodoo Burlesque. So I get to, and when I've been doing this for about 10 years now, and when I first started, I was at this vampire strip club type thing. Like, it wasn't really a strip club, they were calling it a vampire club, and they did like kind of BDSM kind of things. I never did, but I wore a mask and I called myself Venice, and I'm like, I'm never gonna take my mask off. And that's how I learned. I was a vampire dancer, and I loved it, and cause I was very spooky back then, still am a little. Now 10 years later, I'm getting to do it again. I'm like the blood spitting vampire burlesque dancer, and I love it. So
Full circle.
Blood spitting.
Yeah, I do. I have like a dominatrix kind of number, and then I do this. I have like a zombie schoolgirl thing. So I have a blood cap in my mouth, and in my second song, I bite it, and I'm like, just kidding.
Oh, you can't give away the trick.
Yeah.
You mean you bite your tongue really hard because you're so enthused.
I
and then
spit
you,
up some blood because I
bleed.
ate somebody
Right.
too fast.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to invite you to join me on stage next time.
Yeah, it's
Sounds right
fun.
up my alley.
I love it. I was in Miami for quite a while, so they kind of beat the fun out of me. I had to be pretty and cute all the time, so I get to do it again. It's nice.
Yeah, you don't have to be pretty and cute in New Orleans.
No.
You just have to be drunk.
And naked.
Then you're invited.
Yay.
It's true.
What are the qualifications to be invited to the BLT ball?
Well, it's a very short set of people are the invited people. Most of people pay for their tickets, but you guys here, I'll happily comp all of you for
How
this
much
up
are the
here.
tickets typically?
It's $30 or $35. I'll have to see what it is this year. It'll be for just general admission, and then the VIP where all your drinks are taken care of and stuff like that. So that's $100. and we have a lot of fun every year. It's just a blast. People running around, dancing, having a good time, hanging out in their underwear. and
Where's
things
it
like that.
typically held? Do you have a-
So originally it was
Haunt?
held in Metairie a while ago.
Oh,
I
dear.
moved it closer. I've got it in
Oh, good.
Southport Hall. So Southport Hall, right there on River Road. It's a little bit off the beaten path, so you don't get stuck in the parades kind of situation.
That's
and
good.
Things like that.
Is
yeah.
there food? That's always my first question.
Yeah. The VIP room gets all their food taken care of.
Oh.
Otherwise,
question.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just stuck sitting around like, man, I'm so hungry.
That's always how I feel at Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Especially I go
yeah.
to the balls, I get all dressed up. I'm like ready. My first ball was SatiraCon, and I was like ready to sit down and have a feast. And there's like bags of Zaps on the table.
No.
I was like, oh wait, this isn't what this is.
Yeah, you can never
This
tell.
isn't a ball like Disney.
Well, my
so
boyfriend
different.
bought like 50 pieces of Popeye's chicken that we had at our house because he leaves it open for Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
So when people could come up, they could eat chicken and then.
That's awesome.
And you didn't charge people?
No, well, he's
Oh,
lived
wow,
there for
so
so
generous.
long, so he's got like a regular crew that comes through all the time, and
Well, add us to the list.
nobody went
Yeah.
hungry. Yeah, Halloween, Coeur de Vue, and Mardi Gras. We always have the house open.
Yeah, Halloween's a little bit sooner than Mardi Gras. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
I'll go to the Mardi Gras stuff. I mean, the Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds good. And then, additionally, I'm actually, not too soon from here, I'm also helping with a secondary event. There's two events that I love. One's technology, obviously. You could tell I'm a very introverted nerd. I don't like talking to people. Secondly, I love comedy.
I think that's a lie.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So we will be bleeding from the ears, but then after that,
think that guy was
there's
a
the
demon.
very first New Orleans comedy hack day. So it'll be an event coming here. So Hell Yes Fest, an event that's kind of coming up.
Yes.
And then additionally, we have all this programming stuff that's going on, and I got the two to work together. And there will be a day where comedians and developers are going to be working together and making ridiculous software that no one should ever use.
Oh, this sounds great.
Yeah, and so we need idea and pitch people. You seem like you'd be a great job for you have the presentational skills. If you can just come up with a terrible app idea and pitch it to a bunch of nerds and then go ahead and present it, then you could possibly win.
What do you win?
We're working on the prizes now.
Okay.
But the prize, so Hell Yes Fest is going to have Doug Benson and all kinds of stuff
Oh,
over there.
yeah,
Public
Tim
House.
Heidecker.
Yeah.
and
And so
With Dave
we'll
Todd Barry, somebody.
yeah, comedians start to blend together.
Because they're all just dudes with names.
Yeah, you just got to see their pictures.
There's a girl. Who's on the girl?
the
line?
chick
Who's the
from
girl?
Trainwreck.
Amy Schumer.
No.
No,
It's I think it might be her boss in the show or something like
see it.
that.
Well,
Something.
so okay, Hell Yes Fest is October 1st through
1st through,
11th.
the
When is
11th.
the hackathon happening?
So at the end of Hell Yes Fest is at the same time as NOLA Tech Week. NOLA Tech Week's the same exact week. They both culminate on the
What?
same time. And at Saturday, we're going to take the nerds from NOLA Tech Week, the comedians from the Hell Yes Fest, and stick them in one room, and then have this sort of this presentation where nerds have been building some really cool thing for 48 hours, and then we'll have hopefully some really popular judges film the whole thing, and it'll be a show.
What a great convergence of
Yeah.
stuff, nerdy
I think it's
stuff.
going to be amazing. I know some people are hesitant on it, but this is
Well,
going to be
New Orleans not known for its consistent electronics or Wi-Fi and everything. I would
The
imagine.
interesting thing is we used to be the worst, and after Hurricane Katrina, we actually have a burgeoning entrepreneurship foundation. There's all kinds of accelerators and things like that that have grown since then. So we have a ridiculous amount of tech draw, especially we have the movie industry. We now have the gaming industry here.
Yes, I'm
Gameloft
familiar with that, yeah.
has all kinds of really awesome things here. So we're drawing talent to New Orleans for technology for the first time ever. It's fantastic. We're going to get
Are
all
you
those
getting
people.
a little misty?
I mean,
Get him a tissue, please.
look, it's just a spicy microphone. I'm sorry.
So Hell Yes Fest coordinating with
NOLA Tech Week.
NOLA Tech Week.
Yeah.
Some of the famous names, because face it, none of us have heard of any of the nerds at NOLA Tech Week. Hell Yes Fest names would be Tim Heidecker, Doug Benson, Neil Brennan, Todd Barry, Nikki Glazer, Neil Hamburger, Amy Hecklering. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so.
Sean Patton, Baron Vaughn, Mateo Lane, and more.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
So it's a big
fantastic.
event. I think one of the things that New Orleans is known for recently is comedy as well.
Well,
It's getting a
I think
scene.
that before Katrina, we lost a lot of the times. People said Baton Rouge was where the comedy was, and I really don't see this.
Well, I guess you got to have a sense of humor to live in Baton Rouge, but no offense to our Baton Rouge listeners.
We have, I think there's this weird sort of them, us, and then you go to Austin, you drive for an hour in any direction, you're still in Austin. But you come here, there's a swamp separating us, so it's an us them thing. But for the same thing, people would refuse to go to Baton Rouge, and then now we're growing a lot of in-house. Chris True's definitely done that. He's brought all kinds of comedians here.
Chris True also was at my party. Yeah, Trixie Minx was doing burlesque. Chris True was doing air sex.
No,
Had Vin Santos.
Y'all really missed it. Yeah, Vin Santos.
Can you just throw that party
the drag
again?
queen. I will for my 4th annual birthday party. So you have
I
1
will
year
be there.
to wait.
I'll be dressed however you want.
Lingerie.
Okay,
Receive a
Frankenfurter it
gift.
is.
Sounds good. Well, I want to talk more about this concept of a hackathon because it's something I'm just they're happening all the time, but I'm only just starting to
Yeah.
learn. I always thought a hackathon meant like you break into the bank's computer and you steal money,
That's-
or you like find Al Qaeda and you're like tweet like "lol found you" or something. But
Right, I think that's what got
what
it
is
popular.
a hack? Yeah,
The-
you're building apps.
Right, like the swordfish mentality. No, why wouldn't you turn that down? But actually, what happened is it got popular, and the idea that you have 48 hours, you have to deliver a product. Who can do it? And then they did it as a talent grab for a long time, and like getting people to do all these things. But we just enjoyed it, like as a little bit of a nerdy person, kind of being able to go from 48 hours later saying, look at this,
You
it's
created something.
It's like, is this a llama.com? And you're like, this is a terrible website. And you're like, yeah, but I made it in 48
Yeah.
hours.
And it's funny. I actually performed at South by Southwest's official hackathon this past year.
Nice.
So they were probably in like the 40th hour of this whole situation. So everyone is like strung out, like, eyes bloodshot. And it was a pop-up performance. They had no idea. And I stormed into the conference room where all these nerds are coding. And if you haven't seen our performance, then you might not know that it's actually could be a little disturbing. I actually took one hacker's wedding ring off with my mouth while one of his other friends who had invented a streaming app was streaming it to his wife. So it was a little scary. And then Ableton was sponsoring the event. And now Ableton's very important to me. I run my live set off Ableton, but they actually wrote an email to the official South by Southwest, powers that be, saying that they didn't appreciate the choice to have boyfriend come and perform.
Well, I can tell you that
they found
no,
it was misogynistic.
yeah,
It
no
was a
New
strange
Orleans
word, but-
hackathon would stop you.
Right,
That's the
exactly.
thing. That's
So
the
I
beauty
clearly
of
have
this.
been messing with the wrong hackathons. I'll come
Yeah.
surprise. We'll talk.
do,
I'll have my
yes.
people call your people.
Yo, please call.
We'll do lunch, and
That
then
sounds good.
I'll get some more wedding rings in my mouth. I need the brass. I have a brass deficiency.
That's perfect.
I mean, I'm sure those rings are gold. Excuse me.
Yeah, we're sure they are.
Yeah.
Then immediately. Yeah, I think that, things like that. New Orleans hackathons I've been to have had jumpy castles and free food and things like that. We just know how to do it.
What
here.
else
We
could
know
you
how
want
to
but
do it.
jumpy castles and
Wait,
free
there's
food?
food there?
Yeah. You could just
more than
grab
just
it
That's
Zapp's
the
potato
question.
and
chips?
bring it on. Yeah, way more than Zaps.
Good.
And just bring it and store it for your Halloween party.
Oh,
Done.
sweet. I would imagine there would just be like Cheeto bags and Gatorade and Red Bull everywhere at a hackathon.
No, and
I've pictured Cheeto bags. Cheeto bags are like the symbol of,
Yeah,
I don't know, like
just
up all night nerd. To me.
Orange fingers.
Like someone who's like
tapping
having a
away.
LAN party, like playing WoW. He has, or maybe
oh my
Doritos.
God.
But the Cheetos have the phosphorescent quality that they can glow in the TV light, and like you can see the like Cheetos ring around their mouth
Cheeto
as
breath.
they like storm a castle.
It's all over the keyboard.
That's probably the wrong storm a castle. Is probably not the right.
That's the
Can
real
you help me out? What's the
reason.
proper wordage there?
For storming, as you say.
Like if you're like in WoW, like
Oh
World,
my God.
World of Warcraft.
you
for
just
our-
scream
for our
Leroy
hip
Jenkins and run.
listeners.
That's all you do. The Leroy Jenkins video sells it all the way.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'll send it to you. And
So-
then, if they're covered in Cheetos when you're stealing wedding rings, it's delicious.
Well, I tried to eat neon foods.
Only neon food.
My Prosecco and bitters is as neon as it gets. I'm going to take a sip now.
We'll fill the space.
Delicious. So how does one create an app, and like can we create it? Can the three of us
Yeah.
team up to create
Yeah.
some sort of like criminal justice stripping singing app.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That'd be fantastic. Well, everybody uses their own different technology. One guy the guy who told me about this podcast is a local app creator guy, and he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Chris Boyd with Aptitude, and he
Attitude?
Aptitude. You get it?
Attitude?
App. Like an application
Aptitude.
Maybe he regrets that name.
Attitude.
I'll have to talk to him.
I think
about
it's
that.
very clever.
Okay, I'll tell him now. He loves it. I mean, and he's doing fantastic. So if you have an idea and you're just like a real, like, I need to make money off this, I would go to him and say, look, build this for me, and he'll tell you how much. You'll cry, and then you'll get the app made and make a lot of money.
And
then
everyone else will cry.
Right. And then, but if it's like joking or fast or something like that, hackathons are perfect for. Especially if it's something, hackathons always have a theme. And this one, it's just going to be a comedy hackathon. So honestly, that idea that you're talking about is hilarious. So that'd be perfect. Anything like that or in the same vein as something. I mean, I'm just amazed because I've seen what MIT's come up with different kinds of things like this, but nobody's going to even come close to what New Orleans is going to do.
Ooh.
I believe
you heard
that.
MIT Gauntlet thrown. Oh, no, he didn't. I want to hear more app ideas. What do y'all got?
I think the llama thing is a good thing.
Is this a llama.com?
Just be a llama,
just
like
be a llama.
dancing or something.
That's
But
great.
like, is it a lot? You have to have some level of existential
Right.
crisis to fuel the motivation to even
A
visit the site.
dancing burlesque vampire llama.
Vampire Finder, a burlesque finder.
Uh-huh.
That'd be a good thing.
Well, that's actually useful. That's not funny.
Okay, well, actually, I have an app idea called Random Mayonnaise. What
is that
happens
like?
is
Wait, tell me. Sorry.
you pay
What can I guess?
$5, and then it'll choose somebody randomly in the United States and ship them mayonnaise with a message that you customize.
Oh.
What about that?
Well, that could so easily become it's either gift or prank depending on when they check their mail. Which I like.
It depends on how we ship it, right? If you just open an envelope and put mayonnaise in it, nobody
Yeah.
wants that.
Unless it's super fresh.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
And it's that gourmet mayonnaise that like they got
Artisan
at
mayonnaise,
Delachaise.
yes.
Have you had that stuff? It's delicious.
it's made in, what is it, like
Your eyes just
duck-
glazed over.
the goose fat fries?
Goose
Oh
fat
my
fries and like vinegar mayonnaise. I'm a vegetarian. I still eat those.
That place
Ooh,
is
they're
like
so
the
good.
New Orleans first date capital of
Yeah,
the
it
world,
is.
and it is full of.
I
Like,
just had a first date with 2 girls there like 2 nights ago.
did
At
you
the
just
same
eat
time?
the fries the whole time?
Well, it was an accidental date. I was technically there at a meeting, and then I walked through and I heard boyfriend, and it was 2 girls that I had like been talking to on Tinder, and I invited them to my show, and then they met at my show because they saw that they were near each other at Tinder. Oh, hold on a second.
Tindering.
Posing.
Wow.
Sorry, loyal listeners, I had to pose for a photo op.
Tinder.
It's just the right kind of scandalous for you.
Yeah, so I'm
Worked
really
out.
fishing for a sponsorship here. Tinder. Brought to you by boyfriend69.com. Thank you very much. Anyways, it is a really great first date spot. I mean, you got cheese plates, you got wine, you've got whiskey. I love it.
Other people.
You've got goose fat. You have other people. You have good lighting. And then the structure of the building is long. And it's almost phallic. Like you have to
Yeah.
walk down the shaft of the building to get to the restroom.
Oh, and it's right by the columns. So if you really are bored, you could just take your wine glass, go over to columns, and just walk along New Orleans and
Columns
drink
also made of shafts.
Just say it.
Maybe Shaft Finder
it.
needs to be
Shaft Finder.
the
That's
app.
called Grinder.
Yeah. Ba-dum-tsh. Y'all need sound effects on this podcast. Honestly. That could also be an app. Sound effect app. It just since
Yeah.
it's listening. Basically, you just like hire the NSA to listen to your conversation, and you have these men in suits that are listening, and they just put in the sound effects like the Law and Order dun dun, and
Yeah.
and maybe an occasional
Wah,
like
wah.
Diplo or like what is that radio noise that rappers make?
Oh,
Pew, pew,
yeah.
pew, pew.
I think maybe we should
I
just
looked
do an
at
app
Jamie
where
Lynn. She was like, "I do Americana. I don't know what you're talking." The only noise I have is like the subtle, quiet burning
oh no, I
of mortality.
I get into the blues rock stuff. Don't worry. No, I feel like we should just make an app of you making noises,
Boyfriend
sound
sound
effects.
Easily done.
Boyfriend
We can
sound
record it. We have the mic
There you
set up
go.
right now.
That's a
Why
great
not?
idea.
Easily done.
Cut it out of this
And
conversation.
then when they see you when they see you at Delachaise, it's just like goose fat, and they're like, what's
Wait,
up?
what is the sound for goose fat? I don't think it's that. I think it's more like like that's it in the bubbler.
Oh yeah, it has to end with Who knew it was that delicious?
The French.
The French, yeah.
They've been trying out the different ways you can cook a bird for years.
They have.
Geese are
Let's
dicks,
make
anyway.
let's make this baby bird so fat that it can't walk, and then kill it, and then eat its liver. Like that's a
Who thinks of this?
There's the
human
Debbie
beings.
And you know what? It's not just a joke. I've recently just came back from a trip over there. All their food is crazy.
Foie gras.
Yeah. Not like I knew what I was ordering half the time, but I knew to stay away from the foie gras. But the other things I ordered, they all seemed like the same thing. I was like, what is this? We took a cow, we fed it beer for 3 years and told it how much it really sucks as a human being. Then we went ahead and we put it on a weight loss plan, killed it.
Had its mom call every day asking why it hasn't called. Little did it know, we canceled its phone plan.
Right,
And then
sold it to itself on eBay, and here it is on your plate. And you're like, I don't want this anymore.
I think French cooking was like the original app. It was like a bunch of guys sitting around like, hey, what can we do that's like gonna be funny and maybe make us some quick money? Like all these rich people will buy it. They're like, oh, it's a really fat duck liver. I'm so into it. Have you heard about it? Like what the salon was a hackathon, really.
That's what it is, yeah. That was a long time ago. A long time ago, you can't blame them. They didn't have anything. They didn't have, Farmville or whatever we do. It's just they had to figure something else
They
out.
literally had Farmville, actually.
Oh shit!
So they could have been like, tending to the farm.
Might not have been as fun back then. Like you fail at this game, you die.
Right. This one, you just get to refresh your page and like go look at some meme that pisses you off.
Right. Lots more cats now.
The cats are fine. The cats don't leave me in a bad mood. So that's fine.
And they protect you from the roaches.
Oh yeah. No, I was trying to think of an app that like would involve my cat. Like I could have it pull all the pictures onto it, so I would have room on my phone.
Just facts
Onto
about
your
your cat.
Well, because like my phone is like all pictures of my cat, and then like maybe one of me, like here's my costume, and then like cat.
So, what does your boyfriend think of not being in any of those photos?
Oh, he's in some of them with the
Oh.
cat.
Oh.
With the cat.
Heyo.
Oh yeah. I want to show you real bad now. I'll be mad.
Instead of the photographs that you're taking, no offense, are a talented photographer, you should just upload her cat
He's
photograph.
so
album.
cute.
Cats.
What happened during this podcast?
We talked about my cat.
Is he a fat cat? Is he a skinny
No,
cat?
he's a kitten. He's like 6
Oh.
months. He's adorable. His name's Lumpy. He's the love
Nice.
of my life.
Dang,
besides
again,
my
your boyfriend's
boyfriend.
I
getting
know.
No, I
shout.
love
Yeah,
I
no.
love them both differently and equally. But I love like where I live because I can still be like in the New Orleans and in the French Quarter.
Yeah.
But I'm inside hanging out with my cat, and I don't have to
You have
really.
an actual home.
Yeah, I don't have to go out because I'm there already. It's right outside my my apartment.
Lucky you.
Yeah, it's really cool. I stayed in the apartment before I met my boyfriend. So yeah, it was.
Scandal.
It's a lucky apartment.
Yeah, I stayed in it and I was like, this guy seems really cool, and then I ended up dating him.
Megan.
Well, I could tell you like an abridged version of how we met. It's kind of cute. So like I stayed in his apartment because my friend Don lived next door, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna be in town. He's gonna be out of town. You can stay here." And I was like, "Oh my god, this place is so cool! Like all his books, his movies. Oh my god, he seems really cool. Like I want to live here with him." And I like gave that to the universe, and then about a year later, my tattoo artist was gonna be in town. So I was like, "Hey, are you gonna be out of town? I want to stay at your apartment again." And he was like, "No, I'm gonna be here." And I was like, "Oh, that's so interesting." And then we started talking, and we started talking about restaurants and food, because
Yeah.
because food. And I was talking about how on my birthday 2 years back, I had walked around the French Quarter looking at menus, and I just wanted crab with like a fancy gin drink that took somebody 10 minutes to make. Like that's what I wanted. And I found somewhere and I ate there, and it was great, and I was like, I'm in New Orleans and I'm so happy. be looking at me eating my food, and I just had a really good show, and it was a good day. So I told him that story, and then maybe like 3 hours later, he texted me and he asked me when my birthday was, and I said it was September 1st, and I thought he was gonna be like, oh, you're a Virgo, like blah blah blah. But no, he said, this is gonna sound really weird, but were you sitting at the bar 3 seats from the door? So he had seen me at that restaurant like a year before.
Oh.
And then 3 months later, I'm sleeping in his
Dun dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, who is that girl? Why is she eating by herself? I should probably leave her alone. Which was a good idea, because I would have been like, fuck off. But I'm sorry.
You can say that.
I said the
This
F
is when we
word.
need the duck fat.
Yeah.
It just beats over.
Yeah, then 3 months later, I'm sleeping in his apartment going, he looks cool. I want to live here. Like, if I could have anything. And then a year later, we have this conversation. I'm the girl at the bar. He's got some...
Right.
Meant
You
to
want to
be.
pretend it's an accident, but he was like, yes, it will be mine. She will be mine.
It's, yeah.
Yeah. But it's
It's
like...
pronoun confusion.
It's a really small, like, box. It's a loft apartment. Like, there's not a lot of room. And he's been in there 8 years by himself. And he asked me to move in before we'd really been in the same room together.
Consummated.
We hadn't done it yet.
banged.
But so there was some kind of thing happening. But I'm like, I'm 2 people, right? I have a whole costume world of stuff. I have normal life stuff. I don't... Okay. And now we have a cat, too.
And how long has it been?
8 months. I moved
Nice.
December 30th. I drove my car here.
So you're just now exiting the honeymoon phase.
Yeah. No, I feel a very, like, how is this still working? Like...
Clearly the gods wanted it to work.
Well, yeah, you're here in New Orleans,
Yeah.
so everything's going to work.
And he keeps saying we need more room. He like wants to move to Bayou St. John or Algiers. I'm like, you can move.
Just have a yard sale
No,
instead of moving.
I want all my stuff still.
So did you look through his medicine cabinet before you even knew who he was?
We have no cabinets, but I
Ah.
did. I don't know if I probably shouldn't say that.
Ointments. What are the ointments?
it.
Spill
Well, I looked at his movies because I was there with a friend, and I was like, this guy smokes weed. And then she's like, oh, I found a wife. And then we found the weed. So
And
like,
you smoked it.
We smoked some of his weed. I left him $20, and I was like, thank you. Which was like way more than what I smoked.
it. So you're being generous.
I was, but yeah, it was all very perfect. Like he had,
What movies gave it away?
like
Super High Me by Doug Benson
No, it
coming
was
soon to
like
Hell Yes Fest.
like Spinal Tap and Spaceballs and
Good
like
ones.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
those are good ones.
Yeah.
You don't even need drugs to enjoy those movies, though.
Right.
No, but you can tell somebody
Whereas Planet Earth,
smokes weed by their. Well,
that's the teller for me.
He doesn't smoke that much. He's more of a drinker. He was on the show maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's writing a column for the NOLA Defender about he goes to a bar and then he writes like a little story about it. So, and it's in this very like classic, like beautiful style. He writes these little mini short stories, and he's doing one a week for 52 weeks, and he is on the tail end of it. And
Oh,
it is-
nice.
It is
Nice.
getting rough.
So there's that many bars and
Oh, he's at a
worth
loss.
going to.
Well, he's putting it into
In
a
New
book,
Orleans.
and he's gonna continue maybe doing it once a month after. But it's just been like
Yeah.
it's been very intense, and we're very excited to wrap it up.
That's a great idea. What's it called?
He doesn't have a name for it yet. Right now, it's called.
Taking submissions.
The column is called Drinking Culture. I think they actually talked about that on the podcast the last time they were trying to think of names for it.
Oh.
But, I can't believe I just told the pod story. I don't think he
You're
cares.
gonna tell it. Someone's gonna tell it drunk at your wedding.
Yeah, sorry, boyfriend.
If you're like into marriage, not to assume.
Yeah, no.
We aren't all into that.
We've talked about it.
Oh.
So when's he gonna ask the question?
I don't know. It almost happened a few times drunk late at night.
Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
I was like, no, I want a party.
Well, a wedding is just one giant party.
Well,
isn't it?
yeah, we want to like have a
And then
little
marriage
thing
is
with
the
our
hangover.
little thing with our family, and then that's terrible. And then a big party in New Orleans, and everyone's invited.
Ah.
Even us.
So as we show up to your Halloween party, there's quite, we should bring something just in case.
I mean, if you want to, there's always I like to make little things, and we have alcohol, and
would you get him a brass or a gold ring? I mean, I know somebody who wants to know. I'm just asking for her.
I mean, we didn't talk about what he was getting. He's
Cat.
we had the conversation about it because he's like, it's true about like diamonds. They're kind of fucked up.
Forever?
The
They're
whole,
forever? Oh.
The whole like there's ways to kind of make sure your diamond didn't kill a whole
Yeah.
bunch of people,
You can't be sure.
but you can't be sure. But I still want
You can
So-
buy it used.
I want a vintage one.
Yeah.
And anyway,
And then the people that it killed have been like way dead.
Yeah, I mean, this like they don't even count. There's like a statute of limitations.
I
on their,
want
on their
one from like
pain.
the
They're not freshly
30s or
dead.
the 40s, and
Yeah.
they've gotten over it. They've forgiven.
What's funny is I have a friend who just recently moved in from Miami as well, and somehow we bring people in. They love it here. And he said 1 month before you're going to propose to a girl, show her the Blood Diamond movie.
That is so
That
funny.
way, and then someone else said you buy them a manicure at the same time. So that's all the advice I've ever
Well,
gotten.
I'm
on it.
always ready.
That's a good saving money tip.
There you go.
There should be like a cheap boyfriend app.
Cheap boyfriend. It's
Yeah.
like Tender dates.
Yeah, this guy doesn't believe
Get
in
it, like a tenor.
diamonds.
T-E-N, noble listeners, T-E-N. Not T-I-N.
But don't you love the park?
Yeah, let's have a picnic.
I do love the park. Can you bring a bottle of wine?
I'll bring a blanket. You bring wine.
And it's actually just his top sheet. That's fine. Well, Jamie Lynn Vessels,
Yes, ma'am.
has any of this inspired you
Yeah.
to bust into song? Any show
I was
tune?
gonna
Any
say
dirty
it's
show tunes?
probably inspired me to write some songs.
Oh no.
I hope so.
Sure, I can sing whenever you want me to.
I feel like a song.
Yeah.
I feel like if this was a play, this is the part where we would all like
This is the interlude.
turn to the lead.
Everybody
like,
go to the bathroom. Jamie's
jazz
gonna
hands.
sing a song.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't want a bathroom song. No. I just way against
You
those.
just sing really loud so I can hear you.
Really, really loud. All right. Well, I mentioned that I'm not just the Americana singer-songwriter. I mean, that's my main thing. But I've been getting a lot more into blues rock, so I'm gonna do a little kind of rock and roll number from my album.
Woohoo!
I did too. I just we all collectively just scooted our seats backwards with Jamie.
Y'all just want to
That's the
escape
power
to
of
the
music.
bathroom while I sing. It's fine. This is what I say when I'm singing this live. This is for all you Casanovas. And then I point to somebody and it's all awkward. And then they like it when I heckle them. This one's called Casanova No More. Got me feeling so lonely. You've got me feeling so fine. We don't know where this is going, and I think we've run out of time. My head's been spinning for days. The way you walk in and out that door. My heart just wants you to stay. But my head's screaming, I can't take no more. Oh, I'm putting my foot down. I'm closing up that door. I'm tying up my heart, and I've come to settle the score. Casanova no more. You've taken all that I've got, stolen enough of my time. You can't convince me that you're something you're not. Oh, because you'll never be mine. Oh, oh, I'm putting my foot down. I'm closing up that door. I'm tying up my heart, yeah. And I've come to settle the score. Casanova, no more. Well, you keep coming around. You're begging me for another try. And I know your record with hearts. You've drunk this river dry. Oh, I'm putting my foot down. I'm closing up that door. I'm tying up my heart, yeah. And I've come to settle the score. Casanova, no more. Casanova, no more.
How are your fingers still intact?
Put that knife down, please.
Oh.
It's frightening me.
Just
Yeah.
get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds really beautiful. Whenever I get into a space, like the first thing I do is I find the sound person. I'm like, do you have any reverb? I'm like, give me lots of reverb and then put a little bit more. Like what you think, and then just,
Karaoke rules, right?
yeah.
Just keep going.
I just love it. It
Keep
makes me
going.
feel sexy. But you got nothing. You sound
You don't need
great.
it raw.
That's awesome.
You don't need
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
My favorite line was, well, I had two favorite lines.
Okay.
One was the very top. You got me feeling just fine. You got me feeling lonely. Both those things. I think it was swapped, actually. You got me feeling lonely.
Yeah.
You got me feeling real fine. Because you can feel both those things at once. You can want something
From
that's
one person, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of bad for you.
Yeah.
And I also liked how you said in and out that door.
Yes.
Because you love when he walks in, but you know he's going to walk right back out.
Yep.
Those are just the things I noticed.
Yeah. Well, I had some. I
About
had some.
my
help.
2 cents.
I had some help writing that one with my friend Roxy, my friend and manager. She's here.
She's here.
CSB Roxy Music. She helps a lot of independent artists around here.
I could see her
And I'm
singing
one
along with you.
So, so we write stuff together, and I write stuff on my own and write with other people and all that good stuff. So.
That's awesome.
Right on.
She helps independent artists in the area or something?
Yeah, and
Oh.
in other states too. Gone so far as New York and Atlanta, and
Huh.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
So she has like an institution, not just her own self that does this.
It kind of, it's mostly her. We came here together to do my CD. Like before about 3 years ago, I was basically just singing to myself in my room. And I always wanted to do something with music, but just never had the opportunity. And then I met Carla Roxy. I call her Roxy. That's her. That's her nickname. Met her at a concert in Texas, of all places, when I was visiting a friend of mine. And basically the rest is history. We came here, and she found out that I wanted to do music, and she's always wanted to do music her whole life. So
she got you out your room and it was just like that? You
Kinda,
snapped
yeah.
right into it like that?
Well,
So you
it
were
took.
waiting.
I was shaking in my boots, really, but
Okay.
but I got used to it, and now I love it. I couldn't imagine doing criminal justice. Come on.
Well, in a way, you still are.
Dun
No,
dun.
True.
It's it's at the core. I think it's kind of the same thing. I want to help people with criminal justice. I want to help people with music. To me, it's a really healing thing. So I think I try to bring that to people in my music. So and we have some fun.
Yeah.
Like I said, not
There's
trying to be
also
Debbie
fun.
Downer.
Always room for fun.
Yeah, and I have happy songs too. Don't worry, they're not just all like
Yeah. All of
thieves
them.
and breaking up and blah.
Yeah, I feel pretty bad here. I'm the only guy at the table right now, so.
You feel bad, I'm sure.
We
Yeah,
outnumbered.
Thank
yeah,
you so much.
You feel really
Appreciate
bad.
that.
I know you do.
Well, Jamie Lynn Vessels, how do we see you live? And you said you're everywhere on the internet, right? iTunes and all the good places, Facebook and that.
I am. My website, jamielynnvessels.com, it has all my gigs up to date. I play on Frenchman Street a lot, and I play in Algiers at Old Point Bar twice a month, and you know.
My boyfriend wrote about that place.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a great
If
place.
you're
I
there.
love playing there. You know, I've done some traveling and stuff, so I don't know if there's like national or international listeners, but you know, everything's
The
on my
aliens
website. The aliens can always find me.
on the website.
I'm sure they're streaming live.
And
now,
it's
so.
JamieLynnVessels.com.
JamieLynnVessels.com.
You got that .com.
.com.
None of that .net.
And Facebook and Twitter and yeah, you're right. I
Good
sprung
job.
for the
You got to. It's
The-
real estate, really. Location.
exactly.
Wonderful.
that's
All
my
right. Well, I'll be
story.
visiting you hopefully virtually and
Cool.
tangibly.
Cool.
What about
That's awesome.
Angie V? How do we see you in person performing on the reg?
Well, tonight I will be at I'll be doing the show with Dante the Magician. It's called Flim Flam Review. It's at Like Pierre's. And then I'm at Vixens and Vinyl with Gogo McGregor at Spitfire. So that's like somebody comes and they spin all vinyl and all the kids dance, and then we do shows in between. And then I'm also a teacher at the New Orleans School of Burlesque, which has just relocated to the Healing Center. We have our own studio, and we're open next Monday. And there's shows there's classes every day. So yeah, it's really fun. They're gonna be $12 drop-ins. Bella Blue's the headmistress, and yeah, I also have a website on my business card that does not exist. So maybe go on a NOLA Defender and look up the burlesque listings, and maybe I'll start doing them again.
Yeah.
Right on. Print them out, girl. Print them out. Although the aliens can't
Yeah.
hold on to those. The paper burns their fingers.
Yeah, no, the business cards exist. The website does not.
Oh, I thought you meant
You did-
So you have business cards that point you to nowhere.
No
Yeah.
.com.
Oh, she hands me one. Good.
The .com.
I'll put this in my. I put
Yeah.
every business card I ever received in my journal.
You guys can have it
Oh.
here. Don't go to that website. It doesn't
You look
exist.
great on this.
That's what I look like when I try.
Looks great. What about all these diamonds that are covering your boobies? Are
Those
did
are
they kill anybody?
not yet.
Not yet. Good answer.
Those are
Great, Angie Z. I'm gonna find you. Wonderful. And our friend Gant.
Yeah.
How can we see you? Besides, of course, at the BLT ball, which is not still Mardi Gras.
So you're gonna see
Not get ahead
me.
of ourselves.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you want to, I'm usually standing out front, just staring at everybody. No, I'm kidding. I'll be. If you go to the Hell Yes Fest finale, or if you go to NOLA Tech Week, you'll probably see me running around helping out with that. But the Saturday finale at Cafe Istanbul, where they have all just the Saturday set up. That's where we'll have the ultimate thing. I'll probably be a little bit more behind the scenes than I'd rather be, but I'll poke my head out.
You'll
as
make
much as I
yourself
can.
known.
Oh yeah, I'll be the guy standing there with no pants.
Oh, okay. Very easy to spot then.
Right.
Although it's Hell Yes Fest, I feel like a lot of people might take it
Right.
kind of literally. Like, well, when I interpret Hell Yes, I take off my pants.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hell yeah, no pants here.
No,
Right.
thank
Bam. Actually, that's a great intro.
So if there's more than one pantsless guy at Hell Yes Fest, he'll be the one with
the
the,
guy who
stunning
started it.
goatee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll be ready. Maybe I'll
Hugh
get
Grant
some
floppy
beads.
haircut.
You like the haircut? It's just,
I like it.
It's recent setup. Actually,
Set up.
I don't do the hair thing. I don't know. Like, but I just spoke
You're-
to people and they're like, "This is sexy." I was like, "Well, do
It
the
looks
sexy
good,
thing
yeah.
on my head," and that's what happens.
It looks really good.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep
Nice.
it then.
You got really
I
excited
should have
about
brought my
that.
fan. Well, speaking of
for
fans,
you.
I hope all the fans of the show enjoyed this episode and that I did a good job filling the giant, manly shoes of Grant Morris.
Well, I learned a lot about goose fat, so.
It's the very least. Oh, that's the end. We forgot that part. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have been your guest host, Boyfriend. You can find me at boyfriend69.com. I said it's boyfriend69.com. Boyfriend69.com. I said it's boyfriend69.com. This has been Happy Hour for It's New Orleans. Thank you for listening. Producer Graham DePonte with special thanks today to Trish Kaufman. Associate producer and technical director Chris Kehoe. Musical director Christian Unruh. Theme music was written and is being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on the show, drop us a line, proof that you're interesting. Our address is on the website. Check out our other happy hours and our other shows, Out to Lunch with Peter Richitucci, live at Commander's Palace. True to the Game with none other than Chris True of the New Movement and Hell Yes Fest. Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Kanata. Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tooker. Excuse me, I've heard that one. That one's Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tooker. Milo's Music Parlor with Kim Vu and their revolutionary new way to buy a house in New Orleans, Unlisted NOLA. Keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and a bunch of other time-sucking social media, but ever important, on all of the We're It's New Orleans pages. You can find photos from the show and itsneworleans.com and our Facebook and Google Plus pages. Yeah, if anybody goes to Google Plus anymore. Those photos are taken today by Allison Moon. Thank you, Allison. If you're listening to this on iTunes, Stitcher, or another podcast app, thanks for subscribing. Take a moment to rate and review us. That helps other people find us and helps us feel terrible about ourselves. Recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street, where they put fine dining into a sandwich and fine booze into a glass. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry about that. Here's a balloon animal. Add my information.
We call that a three-ring fender bender, and we covered it. At Farmers,
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
click for more.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.